Today we want to talk about some of the most absurd and illogical things in Pokemon Unite that need to be changed. Let's go. The first thing is skill upgrade, okay? The fact that you have to notify you on what skill to learn. Hear me out. When you're first learning skill, it's fine. There's options. For example, level 1, you can choose to learn the first skill or the second skill, right? It makes sense to show up 2 skills to give you a choice, so you can press either one to learn them. Even at level 5, when you start choosing the skill upgrade, or level 6, when you start choosing the second skill upgrade, it still makes sense because it gives you a choice. So it makes sense for you to pop up skills, but think about it for a second. At level 9, when you learn your first Unite, or for some people level 8, some people level 10, it doesn't matter. Look at the Unite move. There's only one skill, which is your Unite, right? There's no option. It's not like, okay, I reached level 9, I can choose to upgrade my skill 1, or I can choose to learn my Unite move. I can choose not to learn Unite move. No, there's only one option. Why can't you just learn it for me? You know, why do I have to click on it? What's the extra step all about? Now, think about this for a second. Not only is your Unite move, like if I upgrade and I get a skill upgrade now, right? For example, my Shadow Ball just got upgraded. So obviously I want a Shadow Ball Plus. It's not like I have a choice, right? I mean, right here, do I learn the Dream Eater Plus or do I learn the Shadow Ball Plus? No, there's only one option because you level up those skills at different levels. So I don't understand why I have to go through the extra step. Because sometimes, especially for entry-level players, it doesn't affect like people who are experienced, right? Because it's still annoying you have to click the extra button. Now, for entry-level players, they forget about it. They forget to learn their Unite when they're level 9. And what happens is, they simply don't click on it. A lot of time, I watch a lot of entry-level streamers. What they will do is, when they're level 9, they got a Unite move, they simply don't click on it. Yes, after the whole wheel runs its course, the system will automatically learn the skill for them. But why can't we just have the skill automatically learned when you reach level 9, right? Or when you have an upgrade, right? How does that make any sense? That now, for example, when I get level 13, I got Dream Eater Plus. Why do I have to go through the extra step to click on it and now I have Dream Eater Plus? You know, like there's no choice. You know, I wish there's a choice, right? Either we change how the skill level works, to give people the choice, right? Instead of having, oh, level 11, you upgrade this skill, level 13, you upgrade that skill. Just at level 11, you can choose which skill you want to upgrade first, right? Give people a choice. Or just straight up, don't give people any choice. Just say this is progression. When you reach level 11, your skill gonna get upgraded automatically. When you reach level 9, you're gonna get your Unite move automatically. You know, instead of having an extra step where I have to click on it. Alright guys, the second thing that's super illogical and is super annoying is practice mode. We all know what practice mode is for. It's for practice the new Pokemon, right? Now, a lot of times for me, I don't know about you guys, I think for every single normal human being, which is everyone who is watching, when you go to the practice mode, you want to compare the skills. That's the whole point, right? If I learn the Dream Eater Shadow Ball combo, I also want to compare the Sludge Bomb and the Hex combo, right? To compare those two. Now, how do I compare them? Basically, if there is one button called a reset skills or reset levels where I can relearn my progression, but here I can't. So let's say I already learned Shadow Ball and Dream Eater, and then right now, if I want to learn the other option, I can't, right? There's no such thing. I only have a skill upgrade, level upgrade. I don't have any other option for me to do that. There's only one way out if you want to learn the other set of skills, which is, so I click on settings and I have to leave battle. And I gotta wait for this to run its course. And then go to next. I can't even click on practice again. I have to go back to main menu, right? And then go over here, go to practice mode, practice area, select my Pokemon, and I have to wait for the whole thing to run its course, and then I can learn my skill. And wait. Sometimes, I don't know if it happens to you guys. I mean, maybe it only happened to me before, but sometimes just for the, like, your habit, because I'm used to play a Pokemon with certain skill set, what will happen is, if I level up, right, I will accidentally still upgrade the Shadow Ball. And then, oh, fuck, right? Just go, like, I have to do the whole process again just to try the other skill set? Are you freaking kidding me? Like, whoever designed this, why is there no button called a skill reset? How does that make any sense? Have you actually played freaking practice mode yourself? Like, literally, should I put Uncle Dave in this? I don't think so, guys. Let's not go too far. Let's not bother Uncle Dave, okay? It's very, very important. This is just so annoying. If I want to really learn the other skill, the sludge bomb, I have to do the whole leave battle and then rejoin battle, wait for the whole thing to run this course animation, go back to main menu, click on the practice mode again. Please, please add this reset level thing. Now, the third thing that I want to talk about, the super illogical, that doesn't make any sense, it's kind of absurd right now, is there's no option to show score. Now, I've talked about this over and over again, but I want to say it one more time because it does belong to this category. For the benefit of the argument of not showing the score is you don't get tilted, right? You don't know the score, so you're just playing the game for fun, right? I win, oh, okay. If I lose, oh, okay. Like, nobody cares, right? It's kind of like everybody who playing this game is... Me, the kid is competitive too. Like, modern day and age, I have not seen a kid that's not competitive. Like, you know how school will now give kids participation awards? They're literally treating kids as stupid kids. Like, I don't even understand how that makes sense. Like, there are a lot of psychologists that were saying this actually affect negatively on the kids' mental health. Right? Because the kids know who is number one, who is number two, who's number three. But somehow everybody got an award and everybody's equal. It just doesn't follow the natural human thinking process. It's contradicting how things supposed to happen naturally. Same as a mobile game, right? Not showing a score. I mean, I understand you want to protect people's mental health, but this actually, I think, is counterproductive. Or if you really think that might help, give the option to add, right? Give us the option for those who want to affect our mental health, right? Give us the option to show it so it can be more accurate. So especially when you play on the high elo games, going against rank 1 team, going against rank 2 teams, right? It's really competitive. It's really good for content. Now, those 1 or 2 points matters. If I know I only got 10 points behind, I'm only 10 points behind. Those dog race, right? Like people going to get a freaking blue buff, get a orange buff, and just run towards enemy base, score that 5 points, double that to get 10 points. You know, those kind of dog race is fun to watch because you know how far ahead or how far behind you are. But just showing you, we are in the lead. It's a close battle. That's the worst. What do you mean by it's a close battle? Like, dude, how does that make any sense, man? Give us the option to show the score, please. Please, this is a must-have feature for any mobile game. Like, even in Brawl Stars. And by the way, Brawl Stars is competitive, but it's super casual, right? Kids play it all the time. It's built for kids. I went to Korea, Busan, for the World Championship that he had. It's kids holding their parents' hand going to that event. It was packed. The worlds are packed. The freaking the stage is packed. Everywhere is packed. And guess what? In Brawl Stars, they show scores. You know, they let you know exactly whether you're ahead or behind. In the grab gem mode or whatever, they know exactly how much gems you have, how much gems enemy have. So you know what to go for, right? You know, like how much you need to make up in order to even up the difference, in order to have a chance to win the game. Imagine playing a game not knowing, like, what the hell I'm doing, right? Like, that's literally driving to Houston without knowing the direction before you started driving, right? You might be driving all the way down south when you need to go north. You can be driving 24 hours, you already drove a day, and you're like, oh, shit, that was counterproductive. You know, I just went the opposite way. Now I have to drive 2 days back in order to go to Houston. Like, how does that make any sense? Which genius mind, which 2000 IQ decided this was a good idea? Literally, we need to get that changed. Do I need to pull out the Uncle Dave again? No, again. I don't think it's an issue we need to bother Uncle Dave. All right, very important. Last but not the least, we have to address Lucario. All right. Why do we have to address Lucario again? Because I feel like for the longest time, we've been complaining about Lucario needs a nerf, but we never logically talked about why Lucario needs a nerf. Here's why Lucario needs to be nerfed drastically. And here is how you should nerf it, which direction you should go with, okay? The previous 5 attack damage nerf is not a nerf. In fact, the last patch note, it seemed like we got a nerf. I was so excited without the data. And once the data came out, when people data mine it, by the way, the patch note never had data. We have to have people who data mine the game. Kind of like in another word, hack into the game, right? To find out exactly what's going on, which is super cringe. But somebody actually did that, and we got a data. Lucario got a 5 attack damage nerf. That's not a nerf. I literally don't know how you could consciously say that is nerf. Now, here is how to nerf Lucario and why you should nerf Lucario. Let's talk about why first, okay? In any mobile game, character are balanced or judged or categorized into the following categories. Number one, the damage output, right? How much damage per second that you can dish out. That decides your burst damage or consistent damage. All those matters. Number two, the crowd control abilities. Can this Pokemon or can this character, let me just use the word character because it applies to any MOBA. Can this character dish out crowd controls, right? How much crowd control does it have? For example, Mamoswine. Mamoswine, all 3 skills, including the passive, all 4 skills are crowd control, which is insane. But why is Mamoswine weak? Because Mamoswine get those skills super late, right? Mamoswine's Unite move come at level 10. The upgrades come super late, much later than any other character. So that's why Mamoswine is kind of weak. Number 3, scaling, right? Does this character scale into late game? As we continue into the game, does Pokemon get stronger or does it fall off, right? Does the other character get stronger? What kind of game are you playing? Are you playing early game or are you playing late game? When's your power spike? That's basically scaling. It's very important because one team have to have a balanced team comp to have some kind of early game, some kind of late game, so you have presence throughout the entire game. You have people who do different jobs for different phases of the game, right? So it's very, very important to have scaling. Number 4 is mobility. Right? How mobile is this character? Like how fast can you move from point A to point B? In a team fight, how much gap closer does the character have? You know, like how hard it is to catch a character if this character want to run away. All those are mobility. And then number 5 is durability. How tanky is this character, right? Those 5 areas is what I call the golden polygon. My English is not that great, right? If you draw this diagram, the 5 corners, one character is usually like they match 3 corners, right? You draw a little thing inside the little graph to show how strong, what is the strength of this character, what the weakness of the character. You know, oh, this character is not really strong in mobility, but what makes up the lack of mobility, this character has crowd control, this character has some kind of durability, you know, all that kind of good stuff. Now let's talk about Pokemon Unite. I'm just gonna use the same category as all-rounders, all right? So if you look at all-rounders, we have 4 characters: Charizard, Machamp, Garchomp, and Lucario. Now, we know there are more Pokemons coming out. We don't know what category are we gonna have. Apparently, we just had a new Defender, which is super busted, by the way, which I don't know why. Defender needs to do a lot of damage. Blastoise, we already learned a lesson from it. Damage got super nerfed, but right now, Greedent is doing way too much damage where he's not really a defender. He should be an attacker. Or all-rounder, to be honest. That makes more sense for Greedent, okay? It makes no sense for this guy to be categorized as a defender if his main job is to kill everybody. I don't want to go there, right? Let's not go there. Go back to all-rounder. 4 characters. Let's go through them one by one. Charizard, what is he really good at? Charizard is pretty good at damage, but Charizard has 0 mobility, right? I mean, he doesn't have ultimate, he's dead. He's dead. He's gonna walk around. If he has Unite move, he can fly around, but that's about it, right? Like, what kind of mobility are we talking about? Does Charizard have durability? Not really. Charizard is pretty squishy, right? If you get on Charizard, he's dead. Not a single character in this game really have durability except for defenders. Now, let's talk about Machamp. Machamp has mobility because he has immune. When Machamp is doing the submission, he runs around completely crowd control immune. You cannot catch him. He runs super fast. He has a cross shot where you can just dash to some locations where it's really hard to catch him. Does Machamp have certain crowd control? Yes, submission has given him some crowd control. Does Machamp do damage? Yes, somewhat. But is Machamp killable? Absolutely. Is Machamp strong in lane? Not so much. He doesn't have burst damage, especially early game. Every character almost in the game beat Machamp in a one-on-one laning situation. Like I can last hit a wild Pokemon better than Machamp. How about let's look at Garchomp. Does Garchomp do a lot of damage late game? Absolutely. Does Garchomp attack like a machine gun? Absolutely. Does he have damage? Insane damage, you know? Does he have mobility? Garchomp with Dragon Rush, Dragon Claw combo, which is somewhat a mobility, but not a lot, right? And it's somewhat a crowd control, but not a lot. That's all he has. He has insane amount of burst damage late game. But what about Garchomp in the early game? Nothing, right? He has no mobility. He has no damage. He can't farm, I mean, he can farm jungle, but if you put a Garchomp in the jungle, then your jungle is screwed because he can't gank anywhere. He does no damage. He can't get onto people, right? He needs level 6 to get a first evolve. By the way, for those who don't understand what level 6 signifies, when you clear your first jungle, when you clear the entire center area, you're gonna get level 5 at best, okay? You don't reach level 6. When do you reach level 6? If you get lucky on a beast, if you get some core fishes, right, towards the center area, on top side, that's when you reach level 6. And the Garchomp get his first skill evolve at level 6, which is crazy. Yeah, you learn Dragon Rush. So what? You jump onto people, you still do no damage. Like, they can easily run away. That's it. That's all the gap closer you have. They see a Garchomp coming in, they run away. You probably have to use your reject, but enemy also have reject. You know, so he has no mobility whatsoever. Does Garchomp has durability? He has sustain, he has lifesteal. But that comes later. Why? Because early game, even if you give him lifesteal, and by the way, early game lifesteal is super cringy. It's almost like nothing, right? The percentage-wise. But even if you give him like 20% lifesteal in the early game, guess what? Garchomp early game has no damage. What's the point of giving lifesteal if the Pokemon does no damage? If the character does no damage? A 0 times 20%. Is still big fat 0. You need damage in order for lifesteal to be significant. That's why Garchomp is a fun character at best, right? You can play in solo queue, you can have some fun with it, but your win rate, your rank up speed is gonna be much slower. Your win rate is gonna be really low. Now, let's talk about Lucario. Does Lucario have burst damage? Absolutely. Which skill are you talking about? Power Up Punch, extreme speed. The crazy thing is, both of those skills have a lot of damage. The Power Up Punch is the single most damaging burst damage skill in the entire game. And guess what? It also provides quad control on top of it. Every time you power up punch on you, you get CC'd. You're unable to act. You get quad controlled, right? You get stunned. You're unable to act. And guess what? Every time you use power up punch, it refreshes Lucario's passive, which is another knock-up skill. He pop. He knock you up. And on top of it, he can throw another Bone Rush, which is a super long range quad control skill up, which doesn't make any sense, right? If you look at animation, people who are super far away, somehow they're also shoved when Lucario is throwing that little thing that he has. How does that make any sense? I'm 1,000 miles away from him. Why am I being shoved? But you are, you get shoved. The people who are in the entire line of attack get shoved. Right? You get chain quad control, and guess what? If he teleports, whenever he throws that skill, it resets his power up punch or extreme speed. So you can do it again and basically do another quad control and also punch you super hard, does burst damage, and then knock you up again. All in all, if you think about it, right? One power punch is one quad control, one passive auto attack is another quad control, your Bone Rush is another quad control, and then resets the entire first rounds of quad control. Right? So you basically get a 6-second quad control, 6 consecutive quad control skills. If this character goes in, that's a lot of quad control. Nobody really matches him in the early laning phase. That's why there still hasn't come out with a second meta choice in the top lane. Maybe right now Greedent, because Greedent is absurd. And by the way, Greedent is a defender. Think about the design for a second. A defender who can out-damage anyone in the game. Whoever designed this need to get a freaking Nobel Prize, man. How does that make any sense? Who categorized this? Who's in charge of this kind of design? Or categorization? I don't know. Any person who played a MOBA, I don't know, for a year, should understand this is wrong. Let's not go there. Come back to Lucario. So now you have damage, you have quad control. How about mobility? By the way, your power punch is a huge dash. Your Bone Rush, not only do you throw people back, you can also jump, teleport to the Bone Rush. You can walk to another distance and you can juke your enemy by jumping backwards. That's a huge mobility, right? And by the way, it resets all your other skills so you can do it again. And don't get me started on extreme speed. Pa. Bone Rush, resets, pa again. Nobody outmatches Lucario in mobility. How about durability? Oh, by the way, this guy has a passive called Steadfast, where every time he gets low, he gets a shield. On top of the mobility he has, if this guy make a mistake, you outplayed him. Guess what? He gets a shield. The developer's like, oh, we nerfed it. It originally was only 30-second cooldown, now 60 seconds. What? How is that enough? The fact that this guy has insane amount of mobility, it's almost impossible to catch him to begin with. The fact that he has a shield when he's low is absurd. The proper nerf should remove that completely. This character didn't deserve a shield. He is way too mobile. This character should be the highest skill cap character in the entire game, right? If he's mobile, let him be mobile. Let him be uncatchable. But how to punish him is capitalize on his mistakes. You should not give him any shield on top of it, right? That's the minimum, bare minimum balancing. Bare minimum. I'm not even getting to like balancing yet. I'm just talking about how this character owns everything. This character is strong on everything. It's actually what we call an all-rounder, right? It all runs. He's better than everyone at everything. Like, how does that make any sense? Why does this character needs quad control to begin with? Charizard doesn't have a lot of quad control. Charizard only have a slow. Machamp has a submission. He can flip people, right? That's all he does. You know, that's the only quad control he has. His ultimate can push people. That's the Unite, though. Garchomp has a one combo that you can do. Lucario can shove you for 6 times, can quad control you for 6 consecutive moves, which is insane, right? And on top of that, he has everything else that all the other all-rounders can only dream about. right? If you're gonna make all-rounders so strong, then you should make everybody strong. So Lucario has a matchup on top lane. Make Garchomp strong, make Machamp strong, make Charizard strong, or just come out with another character that is super OP. Right now, Lucario is 1,000 miles ahead of all the other characters. His power-up punch, he can last hit a Zapdos. He can steal a Dreadnought. The most annoying thing is Lucario come to a Dreadnought fight and secure a Dreadnought because the power-up punch, nobody matches that. Probably one skill in the entire game can match Lucario's power-up punch damage, and even then it's still a 50-50, which is the Talonflame's fly. But Talonflame is not really that meta in competitive scene or in high elo, or just overall if you want to rank up consecutively. You can easily outplay a Talonflame, but it's really hard to outplay a Lucario. Because the skills, like I said, a huge AoE, it's impossible to dodge the skill 2, the Bone Rush. It's almost impossible to dodge the Power-Up Punch. And once you get hit one time, you're gonna get hit multiple times. Now I give you enough reason. I just want to quickly mention on how to nerf Lucario. This is what I think is a decent nerf, I would say. Remove all quad controls. You can keep the damage. You can still make Lucario do insane amount of damage, that's fine. But remove all quad control skills. Basically, when he is doing damage, it's not okay for him to be completely untouchable, right? You should give the other party ability to fight back. It shouldn't be that I have to carry a full heal just for Lucario alone, right? I should have other options to fight Lucario. Why do you have to carry a battle spell just to fight this character? So you should remove all his quad controls, where he still does insane damage, but he no longer quad control you so you can fight back. That should make sense. Now he can still come in to power up punch your Dreadnought, but it's a heavy cost, right? He has to think about it because it doesn't quad control everybody along the way. That's one way to balance it. Number 2, you can still make him the insane quad control Pokemon, but remove all the damage. Make sure that he doesn't do that much damage, especially with power up punch, especially with extreme speed. Basically, all I'm saying is this all-round thing, nerf one corner of it. Cut away the one corner. Don't give him everything because it simply doesn't make any sense. Or if you really want to give him everything, you gotta shrink them tremendously. Where yes, he can do all of them, but he does them in a mediocre way. Right, so maybe make his scaling better, so in the late game he does them better. But in the early game, he shouldn't be that strong. Let me put it this way. Why is Garchomp getting his Unite move at level 10, and he's only strong at level 15, he's strong late game, where someone like Lucario is strong early all the way to late? How does that make any sense? It doesn't. And please take away the steadfast, the passive. Just take it away. It doesn't make any sense for a Pokemon to be that mobile. On top of it, still has a shield. It just doesn't make any sense in any MOBA if you look, right? In any MOBA. Why is a Pokemon that is already so mobile still has a shield on top of it? Still makes it impossible for a jungler to gank. I mean, how often are you gonna gank top lane to begin with, right? You think about nerfing a skill from 30 seconds to 60 seconds, it doesn't change much because people don't gank Lucario every 30 seconds. Jungler center position players still have to clear the center position. It's not like you're always going to be fighting a Lucario 24/7. That just doesn't make any sense. The 30 second to 60 second nerf did not change anything. Just ask any Lucario player. Has it affected you? No. Look at all the competitive games, right? Lucario's not gonna fight every 30 seconds. He fights probably every minute, every 2 minutes when there's Dreadnought, when there's Rotom, when there's objective for him to fight. Otherwise, he's gonna be just walking around the entire map and stealing scores and stealing your farm. And then he runs away with his insane mobility, you can't catch her. Guys, it just doesn't make any sense, and I give some suggestions on how to nerf them. Again, cut off 1 or 2 corners because it doesn't make any sense for one character to be this OP and all the other characters only have 3 corners. Even though you're calling them all-rounders, but clearly, if you look at all the Pokemons, all these 3 other Pokemons are not really all-rounders. I mean, you kind of understand, yeah, they have some kind of durability, they're kind of tanky, they also do damage. It makes sense that they're called all-rounders, but they're not really all-rounders. Where Lucario is a true definition of all-rounder, and it's way too all-around. So with that, guys, that's gonna be my rant for the day. Make sure to drop the like, subscribe, turn the bell on if you agree with the video. With that, that's Sunday signing off. We'll see you guys next time. Bye for now.
Just for the thrill of it. Nothing counterfeit with you, just the thrill of it.